Hello, I'm Andy Dalton and I work for the Church of England. I'm something called the Social Responsibility Officer, and we are talking about the importance of design or architecture, if you like, but no, design and architecture aren't exactly the same thing really, but design, architecture, I suppose planning, layout as well, spaces between things as well as the things, the physical things. How design, architecture, the planning of housing in other areas affects how we feel about where we live. And I need to make a bold, fairly, nearly, opening statement, which is that design is important. What I'm interested to know, what's most important, which of these arenas that you experience your life is most important to you? Inside your house, outside your house in the immediate vicinity and how your house looks, where you stick your car and all the rest of it, the neighbourhood that surrounds your house, a council estate or a private estate or I don't know, but the wider area, or the city. Now some of you don't live in the city, but you've got a city experience to relate to, so what has the most significant effect on your feeling about the quality of where you live?
I would say, they are all obviously incredibly important, but I would say neighbourhood is probably, if you look at, say, house prices as an indicator, it's the location, it's the neighbourhood that determines house prices, not necessarily the size of the house or the qualities inside it. The location is the biggest factor in determining that. So that suggests that that's what's most important to people.
I think the city is the most important thing. Right. That's just from my experience. Right. Living in South Cave is unusual because it's clearly a cultural desert, But we've got a beautiful house. It's a beautiful village, in a lot of ways. But there's no neighbourhood, there's no community, or very little community. I certainly miss that. The whole city thing, the culture. Like I say, I think in kind of levels of diminishing returns, your actual interior is the least important.
I think that does tell us something about that. Yes, these spaces are important to us, and I'm sure if you like a house, you don't like moving, but actually we're quite adaptable in terms of our immediate space.
We feel entirely wedded to our space. Well, no, maybe some younger people, bohemian livers in Leeds city centre don't. My experience of where I've lived, is that people are extremely wedded to their internal space and the bricks and mortar that bounds that.
Is that really a good thing, to separate out the traffic from the people? Because if you look around every one of the expensive estates around the city, that quite a number of these people have indicated they live on, everybody wants their own double garage. They all want to be able to see their car and their parking.
But don't you think though that the reason people want to see their car, we're all like it, it's because they recognise that they are taking a personal responsibility for the security of their belongings. Now, in other words, if you could make it so that they were absolutely assured that their belongings were safe and accessible when they wanted them, then that may not be such a problem. Isn't that more to the point? Because isn't that the future? Because otherwise you are going to get those with transport and those without, those people that can afford it and those people that can't.